The item on display today is an oil sketch, which the guest inherited from his grandmother in 1984. It was originally dedicated to the guest's grandfather, who once hired the artist in 1937. Dean Cornwell, the artist, was a fairly well-known American illustrator. This rough draft, a preliminary oil painting involving two murals with combination of their elements.
It's really special because, as you can imagine, those murals are permanently affixed to that building and they will continue to stay there.
While this piece is an oil-on-board painting, it contains pigment mimicking the final mural, which makes it special. This neat oil sketch contains two murals showcasing characters that are known legends in Nashville. Although unavailable for purchase, this oil sketch with pigment mimicking of a mural is estimated to be worth.
The estimate would be $25,000 to $45,000.
Wow, my goodness, 90. Wow.
Today's show, we're featuring a captivating painting executed in oil on canvas. This masterpiece was acquired by our guest from her late grandmother, who received it from an elderly friend she cared for.
It is one thing I remember about her discussion of it.
Do you know how she got it?
She got it from an elderly friend of hers that she helped care for. He had been a civil engineer during the Depression and worked on roads in the Southwest, is what she told me, and he acquired art in his travels.
The painting's style, rich colors, and depth reflect the renowned American landscape painter's signature, Fremont Ellis. Ellis, hailing from the southwestern United States, earned renown for his talent in capturing the region's landscape. He co-founded the pioneering modernist painting group Los Cinco Pintores.
He taught art for a bit, and then he went to Santa Fe, where he really made his mark. He was a co-founder of a group of painters called Los Cinco Pintores, which was a group of 5 modernist painters, really the first modernist painting group in Santa Fe. In 1921,
his works have been showcased in esteemed institutions like the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, while many grace the permanent collections of the New Mexico Museum of Art, the El Paso Museum, and others. This particular painting stands as a testament to his artistic genius. This work of art showcases the brilliance of a widely celebrated artist whose legacy endures in the hearts of all who behold his creations, and is estimated to be worth approximately.
At auction right now, I think conservatively, this is worth $15,000 to $25,000.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Today's show brings us 21 signatures from the Nuremberg trials. These signatures were obtained by our guest's father, who served as the lieutenant of the guard during the trials. The Nuremberg trials happened in Germany from 1945 to 1949 to put Nazi war criminals on trial. The guards and prisoners exchanged these signatures for cigarettes. Prominent figures of Nazi Germany, including military leaders and soldiers, had their signatures taken. Some signatories met their end through execution or imprisonment.
Many of these individuals ended up being executed. Some were sentenced to long term in prison.
The signatures stand as invaluable historical artifacts to prevent such an act from happening again. Each signature symbolizes the individuals tried for their crimes and conservatively would be valued at.
A document like this at auction is conservatively worth $3,000. So I really appreciate you bringing it in, and it's an amazing record, and we're sure proud of your father's service.
Well, thank you.
The guest presented Nodder sets, which originally belonged to her mother. These pieces are small collectible figurines with heads that bob or nod with any movement. Quite fascinating, these sets were popular as knickknacks in the early 20th century, particularly between 1900 and 1910. They were made in Germany and came in various sizes, from small sets like these to larger bisque figurines.
Up to full bisque figurines. And they would just have balancing heads that would make a little motion and to catch the eye.
As seen, the sets consist of 2 distinct groups. One set features characters modeled after the Brownies, a popular storybook character. The other set depicts an orchestra of devils, which is a sought-after theme in knotted collectibles.
A set. This orchestra, I would estimate, could be sold on the retail market for $1,000 to $1,200 for this little group here.
Also, the conductor is a significant figure, as conductors are often missing in knotted orchestra sets, making this set more complete and valuable, with an auction price of
you have $3,500 worth of little nodding figures.
Okay.
On today's show, we are featuring a concert poster dating back to February 1968. Our guest on the show got the poster from a house bought by his sister in the early 70s. This piece of art, known as the BG 105, was designed for a concert featuring the legendary rock musician James Marshall, Jimi Hendrix. Hendrix was an American guitarist, songwriter, and singer, and is one of the most celebrated musicians of the 20th century. The poster holds monumental significance to the underground comics movement of the era and was created by one of the most famous psychedelic artists, Rick Griffin. Griffin, a renowned American artist and illustrator, best known for his influential work within the counterculture movements.
One of the most famous psychedelic rock artists, whose name is Rick Griffin.
This work exudes the artist's brilliance and passion through its unique style and alternative form of expression. This poster is exceptionally precious due to its rarity. It is one of the only two ever printed, and this copy is the first of the two.
To see that was actually the first printing. It's the positioning of the word tickets that goes across BG 105, which identifies which printing it is.
As a first edition print, featuring a highly celebrated musician and embodying a culmination of the counterculture movement, this piece would be valued at,
I would say conservatively, we're probably looking at anywhere between $2,000 and $4,000.
This elegant lavalier necklace, dating back to around 1915 to 1920, features a design that was particularly popular during that era. Adorned with numerous small diamonds, the necklace is presented in a Tiffany & Company box, though it lacks a Tiffany mark. While the necklace is not confirmed to be a Tiffany piece, its design and quality suggest it could have been made by Tiffany & Company. In a retail setting, the current value of this necklace would likely be around
Its current value would probably be $8,500 in a retail setting.
Okay.
This exquisite necklace, featuring moonstones and sapphires set in 14-karat gold, was a gift from the guest's grandfather to her grandmother in the late 1940s or early 1950s. Upon closer inspection, the necklace is marked as a Tiffany piece, adding to its value and authenticity. The design of the necklace, with its use of moonstones and sapphires, is reminiscent of the style of Louis Comfort Tiffany, known for his signature combination of these stones. While this piece is not a design by Louis Comfort Tiffany himself, it pays homage to his work, and
This was a piece made in the 1940s.
the necklace also doubles as a brooch, providing versatility in how it can be worn, adding to its charm and appeal. In terms of value, a necklace like this would have an auction estimate of
From an auction standpoint, a necklace like this would have an auction estimate of $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh my goodness.
These were gifted to their parents for their wedding in 1954 by an old Army buddy of their dad's. Here is a collection of 6 Lalique goblets, crafted from molded glass and adorned with a gray patina. They belong to the 6 figurines pattern. René Lalique, the celebrated French glass designer, was known for his intricate craftsmanship. The 6 figurines goblets display Lalique's signature style with intricate relief work of various figures. Each piece bears the engraved signature R. Lalique, indicating René Lalique. The 6 figurines goblets may depict female figures, animals, or symbolic elements, all with Lalique's grace and delicacy. Lalique's sets may vary due to a limited edition or custom pieces. The 6 figurines goblets are probably made of Lalique's favorite crystal glass for its clarity and brilliance. Owning Lalique 6 figurines glass goblets with the original box is having a valuable Art Deco piece. With a flicker of admiration, the appraiser valued the Lalique 6 figurines glass goblets.
At auction, these would likely bring between $3,000 and $5,000 today.
Oh, that's so cool. Awesome.
The item we've been presented with today is a piece offering a glimpse into the history of Arizona. The guest's grandfather had crossed paths with the soldiers involved in the surrender of Geronimo. He was invited to the celebration in Tucson, 1886. During the festivities, the clerk of the San Xavier Hotel gave him the hotel ledger.
He was invited to the celebrations that Tucson gave to these men, and the clerk of the hotel gave him the hotel ledger that had all the signatures of these people.
What sets this ledger apart is the presence of signatures from notable figures intertwined with the history of Arizona. Additionally, the ledger contains other remarkable items, such as an invitation to the ball held in honor of General Miles, and photographs capturing the parade that accompanied the celebration.
And what we've got here is just tremendous amount of ephemera, things like the invitations to the ball that was held for Nelson Miles, the dance card that was used at the dance. It has a picture of Miles on the front and Geronimo in the back, and these marvelous photographs of the parade that occurred at the time of the celebration.
Among these signatures are those of Lieutenant Charles Gatewood, Virgil Earp, and many others. In essence, this ledger serves as an invaluable collection of preserved documents directly linked to the end of the Geronimo campaign in 1886. It's worth about...
I want to be conservative and guess that it's probably worth between $8,000 and $10,000, and it might be worth a lot more than that.
We've been presented with two pieces of jewelry today. These pieces are works of art made by a revolutionary American artist, Charles Loloma. Charles Loloma was a renowned Native American artist, specifically a Hopi jeweler and ceramicist, known for his innovative work in the mid-20th century. Our guest on the show had met Charles Loloma in an art gallery where he was having a show.
He was having a show.
So he was actually in the gallery,
show.
And
Yes.
so you met him
Yes.
and purchased these.
She purchased both pieces directly from the artist himself. Loloma revolutionized Native American jewelry by incorporating unconventional materials and techniques into his pieces. One of Loloma's most distinctive contributions to jewelry making was his use of tufa casting, a technique in which molten metal is poured into a mold carved from volcanic tufa stone. Charles Loloma was known to break away from the traditional Native American style with his unique and revolutionary art. Two pieces of original art from an artist of his pedigree will be worth about...
This particular one, the smaller one, I think we're conservative in saying it would sell for about $28,000 on today's market.
Oh my goodness.
And the other piece, probably in the $40,000 marketplace.
Oh.
These remarkable Civil War-era letters were discovered in an old house in Oakland, Mississippi, found hidden in a wooden box within a wall, and purchased by the guest's mother for $100. The letters, primarily from a man named G.D. Barnes, who later became Lieutenant Barnes, offers a glimpse into the life and correspondence of a soldier during the Civil War.
First of all, he had loads of supplies.
The collection includes letters from Grenada, Mississippi, and later from Kentucky, where Barnes signed his letters as Lieutenant Barnes, indicating a promotion in rank. One particularly intriguing letter is from a woman named Theo, expressing her disdain for an impending marriage to a lieutenant in the 28th Mississippi, highlighting the personal.
So she hates him, but she's marrying him.
She's going to have to marry him anyway, apparently.
And the letters provide insight into the lives of soldiers and their families during the war, offering a perspective that is often overlooked in historical records. While the entire archive contains hundreds of letters, the 6 letters discussed in the appraisal could fetch between.
And I think easily you can be talking to $1,000 to $2,000 per letter. So you have 6 letters here, so you're probably talking $6,000 to $12,000 at a retail price of what's just here.
What we have here are the 1957 Lone Ranger and Tonto posters. These prints were premiums offered by the General Mills Corporation as part of a promotion. Children could acquire them by mailing a box top and possibly a small amount of money to General Mills. The posters featured life-size images of popular Western stars from the television show, portrayed by actors Jay Silverheels and Clayton Moore. Interestingly, the guest obtained these posters as part of a collection of memorabilia purchased from an online auction.
I used to be a relatively large collector of memorabilia from my youth and from other youths, and I bought these on an online auction.
The posters came in the original mailing envelope, which adds to their provenance and uniqueness. Most paper items like these posters were not often preserved, making them somewhat rare.
As you said, they're folded as issued because they were meant to be mailed to people, so in order to fit into the envelope, they had to be folded.
A piece such as this captures the essence of 1950s America, featuring cherished relics from a time when cereal box tops granted children access to their TV heroes, and it's worth.
an estimate of $1,200 to $1,800 you could pay to have these restored.
The guest purchased these 3 vintage London Underground posters from Stanford University Renaissance Fair in the 1960s for $1 each. The posters were created by different artists under the guidance of Frank Pick, a pioneering advertising director. The first poster features an abstract depiction of a tunnel and bouquet of flowers, exuding hope and beauty. Another poster embodied classic Art Deco style, emphasizing speed and sleek design. The third poster showcased various leisure activities, including a rare appearance by Mickey Mouse. Highly valued for their unique styles and historical significance, the appraiser estimated the combined value of the posters to be.
Now, a quick tabulation, these 3 posters I would estimate together at $8,000 to $11,000.
Very good. Very good indeed. Thank you very much.
Featured in today's episode is the Quoizel vase, an Art Nouveau by Quoizel Company. It belonged to an artist, Florence E. Ware, who was a friend to the guest's mother, and gave it to her. It was passed down to the guest in the mid-70s. The Quoizel Company was formed by Martin Bach Sr. and Thomas Johnson, combination of a chemist who was skilled in handling chemicals and colors, and a chief gaffer. The company started operation in 1901 till 1924. The triple hook decorations and single hooked feather decoration at the bottom part of the vase indicates its interesting feature. The color mixture on this piece shows its uniqueness compared to the regular ones.
The color is nice. It's blue and it's purple instead of the standard, what you normally see, which would be a gold and a cream and a green.
Quoizel collectors are known to be fussy. This piece is noticed to have a scratch on its surface, which happened to reduce the estimated value, which could have been.
If that weren't there, I would have been more inclined to say $3,000 to $5,000.
I see. Okay. Well,
Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you very much.
This beautiful figural clock was a retirement gift to Guest's uncle, who worked at a firm that represented Tiffany. Dating back to the late 1800s, this clock was a beautiful example of Victorian-era clocks.
Robert Johnson was a very famous blues musician in the South, and very few photographs of Robert Johnson, very few recordings of him, but you see Robert Johnson with a very similar guitar to this.
The clock had a dial with Japanese numbers. Both hands of the clock form the first and second halves of a dragon, creating a complete dragon at 3 o'clock. What a craft indeed! There was another dragon decorated on the side of the clock.
Switched from making the old-style arch-top guitars to the flat-top guitars as they were developing their bracing system. The first iterations were the H-brace.
The detailing was exquisite, a testament to the masterful craftsmanship of the era. Despite some missing parts, the piece was in admirable condition. Much to the guest's disappointment, the appraiser estimated the value of this beauty to be
bring somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,000 in a retail market.
Gosh.
This intriguing painting by William Holbrook Beard, an early American artist, depicts a sly fox with a hen, showcasing Beard's unique style of anthropomorphized animals. Beard, born in 1824 and passed away in 1900, initially began his career as a portrait artist, but later turned to painting animals with human-like characteristics.
Really very desirable and collectible, and they often show sort of the 7 deadly sins.
The painting, signed by Beard and dated, features a fox with a mischievous expression, suggesting it has stolen the hen, capturing a moment of suspense and humor. The period plaque accompanying the painting adds to its authenticity, dating back to the 19th century. Beard's animal paintings are highly sought after by collectors for their whimsical yet thought-provoking depictions of animal behavior. In terms of value, this painting is estimated to be worth around
I would think of an insurance value for it around $15,000.
Wow.
This charming bronze sculpture depicts 2 young girls with a fisherman's basket originally gifted to the guest's grandmother by a wealthy donor. The sculpture is signed by the French sculptor François-Raoul Larche, who was active during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, known for his Art Nouveau style. The piece features intricate details and a gold patina characteristic of Larche's work, which often included both large public sculptures and smaller domestic scenes. The foundry mark on the sculpture indicates it was cast in Paris, adding to its authenticity and value. While Larche is most famous for his sculpture of the Art Nouveau dancer Louis Fuller, This piece reflects his skill in creating smaller tabletop sculptures with a charming and,
It was made out of bronze, cast in Paris in the early part of the 20th century.
despite some wear to the patina, which is expected for a piece of its age, the sculpture is in good condition. In today's auction market, this sculpture is valued between
In today's auction market, between $2,500 and $3,500.
How remarkable.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful...
This exquisite masterpiece is breathtaking. It was presented on the show by a guest, and her parents acquired this piece at a garage sale. This delicately crafted jar originated from Japan. Furthermore, this item dates back to the late 19th century. Particularly, this jar was made by Mukuzu Kozan, a Japanese ceramist who was appointed as an artist to the Japanese imperial household. He was also one of the major potters of the Meihei era. It features a colorful floral design. Upon inspecting the jar's interior, we can see the name of the maker inscribed. Another maker's mark beneath the jar is visible. A perfectly preserved jar like this, being this rare, would have its value at auction placed around.
At auction, it could make $8,000 to $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
These 18th century shoes hold a fascinating history, purchased by the guest's husband at an estate sale in the New Haven area about 30 years ago. Originally bought during the bicentennial time, the shoes were intended for the guest, who, along with her husband,
bicentennial time, my husband and I did living history, and he bought them for me so he could use them to make me a pair of 18th century shoes.
The shoes, made of silk with a linen lining, feature a unique design with flaps and no distinct left or right foot. An interesting note accompanies these shoes, suggesting they were worn by the daughter of Mr. Cogswell, the collector for the port of the city of New Haven. According to the note, George Washington himself asked Mr. Cogswell if he could dance with his daughter at a grand ball, and she wore these shoes for the occasion. While the story's authenticity cannot be verified, the shoe's design, particularly the heel shape,
the way that it's shaped, and this shape was popular in about 1785, 1787.
Despite their worn condition, these shoes hold significant historical and collectible value, with an estimated retail value of
The retail value of these shoes is $1,500.
Okay.
Condition is everything in the world of textiles, and they're really pretty beat up. If they were in perfect condition, they'd probably be worth upwards of $15,000.
Wow.
We are presented with a painting by one of the best-known African-American artists of the late 19th and early 20th centuries on today's episode. The painting was done by Henry Ossawa Tanner. Tanner was a renowned African-American artist who gained prominence in the late 19th and early 20th century. His works often capture powerful emotions and scenes with remarkable depth and skill. And as we can see from this painting, just like most of Tanner's works, it's a religious depiction.
By the mid-1890s, he turns to religious subjects, and so most of what he did after that time are the religious subjects, such as we see here.
Right.
There's a label on painting tagged Grand Central Art Gallery's Pastoral Scene, Palestine by Henry O. Tanner, and it is numbered 491. Another thing found on the painting is an authentication stamp by the artist's son, Jesse O. Tanner.
I have a stamp here by the artist's son, Jesse O. Tanner, who states that his father made this work.
This painting showcases Tanner's mastery of technique and his ability to evoke profound emotions and would be worth,
I believe that it would sell in the neighborhood of $35,000. $35,000. Yes. Wow.
These Chinese Clusani hat stands offer a glimpse into the past, serving as a unique cooling device for officials in Peking during the scorching summers of the early 19th century. These stands were used by officials to cool their hats, often with ice in the bottom, providing relief from the extreme heat. The intricate Cluzon design showcases the exquisite craftsmanship of the era, adding to their historical and artistic value. The value of these fascinating artifacts was appraised at $3,000 at auction. Presented a Haywood Wakefield desk, which has been in her home since her childhood. This piece in question is a knee-hole desk, likely made of birch or maple. It was designed by a Russian-American industrial designer, Count Alexis D. Sakhanovsky, known principally for his streamlined style of automotive designs. Sakhanovsky also completed numerous other design projects, including bicycles, kitchen items, and furniture. This particular desk is an early version from 1940, distinguished by its unique feet and size, which differ slightly from the post-war production desks. Unlike later versions, this desk does not bear the branded Haywood-Wakefield mark, as the traditional eagle mark was only used from 1946 onwards. The desk is solid wood and has been refinished, which, while not ideal for collectors seeking original finishes, does not significantly impact its value at
between $1,200 to $1,500.
Thank you very much.
The opulence of this piece is a shimmering masterpiece that exudes luxury. Our guest today showcases a satin glass rose bowl that she inherited from her mother. The piece features diamond-shaped patterns and multiple colors intertwined to give it a rainbow impression, therefore earning its name Rainbow Mother of Pearl. Also visible on this item is a beautiful satin finish. Although there are some tiny signs of wear on this jar, they would not significantly affect its value. Made from the finest and rarest satin glasses, this jar is truly a testament to craftsmanship and luxury. At auction, this item would fetch a value of around
For $2,000.
Oh my God.
is an online document that once belonged to Karen Carpenter, worn by her in a concert likely around 1975, based on her hairstyle at the time. The jacket was identified by a fan who recognized it from an old photo, not included with the purchase. Designed by an artist, Karen Carpenter, dated in 1975, the jacket features various characters, including the Blue Meanie and the Beatles from the Yellow Submarine. Our guest purchased it from a Hollywood boutique called the Pleasure Dome.
Created custom things, one-of-a-kind things for customers, or had artists who did. It has the label.
Made of heavy cotton canvas, the jacket remains in good condition and was acquired by the current owner for around $300 in an online auction. This jacket is estimated to be worth between
$2,000 and $3,000 on today's market.
The item is a stunning homage to the rich cultural heritage of Mesoamerica. The guest presented the item on the show and mentioned that he purchased it from a dealer in Native American artifacts 30 years ago. The figure depicts a Jalisco warrior, with Jalisco now being a state in Mexico. Additionally, this piece originated from West Mexico and dates back to circa 200 BC to 200 AD. Furthermore, there's a pattern on the figure's body which signifies that manganese was artificially applied to its surface. Being larger than its counterpart definitely sets it apart. Also, being a piece of Mexico's history, it's expected that its value at auction would be placed at
It's worth $500 to $1,000 on the market.
Presented on the show is a rare Sioux Catalanite pipe from Minnesota, dating back to the 1860s to the 1890s.
These come from an area in southern Minnesota called a pipestone quarry.
Sioux Indian Catalanite pipes are traditional smoking pipes made by the Sioux Native American tribe. These pipes are crafted from catalanite, a type of claystone that is soft and easily carved, allowing for intricate designs and shape.
1870.
The first pipe is estimated to be from the 1860s or 1870s, while the second pipe is dated to around 1880 or 1890. Also, the use of pipes is deeply rooted in Sioux tradition and ceremony. This unique piece plays an important role in their culture and spiritual practices, representing a traditional art form and smoking tradition of the Sioux tribe with an estimated value of
$2,500 to $3,500. Really?
Purchased these baskets in Louisiana many years ago.
And this one along the highway in Louisiana before you were born.
These baskets are Choctaw Indian artifacts from Mississippi and Louisiana. Crafted from river cane, they are woven into narrow strips. Each possesses inner and outer layers. All of these are double weave except for the miniature one, which is single weave. They boast intricate decorations and superior craftsmanship.
These are probably the most decorated Choctaw baskets I've ever seen.
These date back to the 1920s or 30s. Appraiser assigns a unique value to each basket.
Baskets and these bigger baskets, $400 to $600 a piece.
You're kidding.
No, little red and tan basket, that's probably $150 to $200 for that. Sure, that basket, I would say $75 to $100.
Uh-huh. That's
So,
a nice number.
It's nice. They're nice baskets. It's great to see them.
Value of the whole collection is between $1,800 to $2,400. This banjo belonged to the owner's great-grandfather. The banjo, which traveled with the guest's great-grandfather from Maine to the West, is from the 19th century. In the 19th century, there were multiple schools of banjo making on the East Coast. This specific banjo resembles the classic craftsmanship of S.S. Stewart from Philadelphia around 1880. A hallmark of the Philadelphia school is the sharp undercut peghead, as observed here. Pearl work is characteristic of S.S. Stewart's style, and its value at auction is
$1,800 to $2,200. Might be a little bit on the strong side, but it's all here. It's in great shape, and it's a great piece of family history here.
Are what are presented before us today on the show. Carriage clocks are small, portable clocks that were originally designed for traveling and were often carried in horse-drawn carriages, hence the name. The carriage clocks presented today are French-made clocks and were all made between 1880 and 1905. These clock panels were made with porcelain, and the case of these clocks were made with brass, with glass panels to protect the clock face. We can see that these clocks were crafted with the precision of the French craftsmen to ensure their durability and accuracy. French carriage clocks are renowned for the level of craftsmanship put into them and were highly sought after as luxury timepieces.
Enhance the value.
So is that the
What do you think these French carriage clocks that epitomize the pinnacle of craftsmanship and elegance in portable timepieces would be worth?
By that retail, it would cost you in the region of £6,000.
Oh my goodness.
This clockwork marvel, a French automaton crafted by Parisian Leopold Lambert between 1889 and 1900, was gifted to the guest's parents by their employer's wife in Montana. More than just a toy, the automaton is a testament to Lambert's skill.
Here is an automaton, which is a French clockwork doll or music box.
With a key marked by the maker's initials, LB, it springs to life with a gentle melody. Its intricate movements are a testament to its quality. Remarkably, the original silk clothing, wig, hat, and shoes remain intact, and the papier-mâché body boasts no cracks or repairs, a true survivor in pristine condition. This exceptional piece, with its perfect originality, is estimated to be worth
In the range between $12,000 to $15,000. Wow.
This guest brought 3 historical items to the show: a framed photograph, a personalized Air Force One crew jacket, and a follow-up picture. These items belong to her father, who was an Air Force One crew member.
Crew and the squadron for over 20 years, and they all flew to Cairo, Egypt for Anwar Sadat's funeral.
The follow-up photograph captures a group of smiling airmen during an off-duty layover in Cairo, Egypt in 1981. They were on their way to attend the funeral of President Anwar Sadat. Covered in autographs, it became a testament to the camaraderie. In the second picture, the guest's father is standing with the 2 presidents.
Great, that's right. And the photo on this side actually shows on the flight.
The personalized Air Force One crew jacket adds another layer to the story.
I honestly say I don't remember ever seeing a flight jacket from Air Force One like that.
Were this collection to be valued for auction, it's estimated to fetch a combined price between,
in that it ties it all together,
Yes, sir.
I would put an estimate somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000 for this little grouping.
Wow, thank you.
a glimmer of yellow catches the light as a guest presents a ring. The guest explains the ring was an engagement gift from the grandfather to the grandmother in 1915. The intricate platinum work reflects the style popular during that era, hinting at a possible East Coast jeweler.
A canary is a term that we really don't use in the jewelry world as much as we used to.
The center stone, a vibrant, fancy, intense yellow diamond, is estimated to be around half a carat.
Well, it looks to me like a very fine sort of East Coast jeweler. It's unsigned, so we can't really determine who made it. But because of the fine platinum work and this really nice garland motif, which we have on the sides here as well.
Delicate garland motifs grace the sides, showcasing the fine craftsmanship that went into the ring's creation. The appraiser estimates the ring's auction value to be between
For auction purposes, I would estimate this to be worth anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000. Great, yeah.
The guest received this Roy Rogers cap gun set in the mail in 1957 as a third-place prize in a contest, where the first prize was a pony and the second prize was a trip to the Double R Bar Ranch. Disappointed at first, the guest's mother preserved the set, including the original box and
We have this presentation letter signed by Roy Rogers himself, the king of the cowboys.
Right.
The contest for Baker's Instant Chocolate asked participants to explain why they liked it in 10 words or less, with the guest's winning entry being, "It's easy to mix and the flavor is delicious." The cap guns are a special edition, gold-plated set, making them a valuable and unique collector's item. While a standard Roy Rogers gun set in the box can fetch $500 to $600, a special edition like this could be valued around $1,500. The value of the cap gun set today could easily surpass.
I'm just wondering if that pony would be still worth $4,000 to $5,000 today.
Really?
That would be my thought.
Oh, wow.
The guest purchased this unique chair in the late 1970s from a store and has never seen another one like it since. Despite surviving moves and kids, the chair remains a cherished piece in their collection. The chair was actually new in 1964 and was designed by Italian designer Franco Bettanica, reflecting the futuristic and contraption-like style popular during the space race era of the 1960s. Made with a bamboo frame and rattan seat and canopy, the chair combines earthy materials with a futuristic design.
It's contraption-like. It really speaks of the industrial age.
The guest originally paid around $200 for the chair, but today, a similar chair in a gallery setting could fetch around.
Today, a chair like this in a gallery setting is probably around $1,500, give or take. They're really rare, so it's hard to really pinpoint an average, and I wonder if you want to consider sitting in it for us.
The guest inherited this item from their parents and recalls noticing it around the age of 12. Initially mistaken for a lamp, this item is actually a vase known as the American Beauty Vase made by the Roycroft Group, renowned for their craftsmanship. Unfortunately, this vase was converted into a lamp, leading to drilling and corrosion issues over time, similar to the weathering seen on the Statue of Liberty.
Starting off with being turned into a lamp, so somewhere along the way they drilled through it.
Despite its condition, this piece is still valued at around.
In this condition, as it is, at auction it's probably worth around $1,000.
Appreciate it very much.
This ukulele was purchased by the guest's dad's aunt in the 1920s and has remained in their family home since childhood. The appraiser identified it as a Gibson Style 3 ukulele. It had distinguished snowflake inlays, multiple bindings, white celluloid pegs, mahogany back, sides and top, and a rosewood fingerboard. Judging from the words "the Gibson," the appraiser said the ukulele dated back to around 1928 or 1929. The original hard case of the ukulele was in excellent condition.
After that, it would have just said probably just Gibson instead of the Gibson.
Much to the guest's surprise, the appraiser valued the ukulele at
Altogether, it's one of the cleanest, nicest Style 3 ukes I've seen. On a retail level, this is worth about $2,000.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
More than you thought?
That's wonderful. Oh yeah, way more than I thought.
The guest bought this horse weather vane for $1 at a rummage sale 15 years ago. The appraiser noted the weather vane's size and the commonality of reproductions in the market, emphasizing its authenticity.
When you first brought it over, the first thing that hit me was the size.
Although the exact origin of the weather vane was uncertain, it was believed to have come from a family farm in North Dakota. Made from found materials like galvanized roofing, the weather vane portrayed a sturdy workhorse, highlighting its practical function.
Kind of roofing, galvanized material. You can see the galvanizing on the tail there in front of you. Sure. He made a horse like what was on the farm.
Its weathered surface and the presence of bullet holes indicated its age and authenticity. Dating back to the early 20th century, possibly the Depression era, the weather vane was estimated to fetch between.
And If something like this were to go through an auction, the pre-sale estimate on it would be $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.